Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? I hope you can. I'm so happy to see you guys already in here. If so, let me know. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Just waiting for the ladies to get this link. I'm still having trouble sharing my link, you guys. I don't know what is up with. Hold on one second. Let me pause this. Okay, guys, sorry. We're trying to figure this out. I think I figured it out. Well, not me, but I think somebody just helped me figure it out. So 1 second. Gosh, if any of you guys know anything about computers, maybe you can help me out. Every time like I move my mouse over the invite button at the bottom, it just a spinning circle the whole time. So forgive my technology ignorance. Hey Cujo, hey Salvador, hey Henry, Higher Power, Tashunka. So good to see you guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me try to share this. I'll get it in a minute, guys. I promise. I just didn't want to leave you guys hanging, so I at least wanted to come on and show you guys I recognized everyone was here. Let's see. 1 second. So what'd you guys do today anyways? How'd it go? What'd you have for dinner? All that good stuff. I think I almost had it and I cleared out. No, that wasn't it. Higher power, yes. 1 second. Oh, I almost got it, you guys. Okay, would it be? Hey, Hustle Through Struggle, how are you? Doing good, I hope. Okay, I'm learning how to do this right now. Yeah, maybe I just have to get a new mouse, right? Try to central delete and it'll take you to the task manager to close out the browser. Wow, that sounds like something I need to learn how to do. Thank you though, Nava. Okay, hold on guys. Almost got it. Un momento. And I think my other girl's running a tiny bit late, so. But yeah, what'd you guys have for dinner? Maybe tell me about that. Well, I'm waiting to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Let me see what you said again. You got your new screen today. Perfect timing. I get to test out watching Convicted Hearts. Thank you, Salvador. I'm going to put that up there. I barely learned how to do that. So, well, not barely, but barely. Right? Okay. I don't know why it always does that. So weird. I promise it won't be this slow. Just hang with me. This is all my fault, by the way. Maybe if I look under my StreamYard. Hold on, guys. I just wish I want to be like, let me see if she texts me back right now. Hold on. That's so frustrating. You guys, I'm actually going to sign up for a class, like learning some stuff about computers because I'm so frustrated with myself. And I think my daughters are too. They're over helping me. They're like, all right, Mom, you just you need help. Okay. Try some, don't delete, and then it'll take you to the task manager to close out. Yeah, that's something I feel like I'm going to get stuck on doing. One second. I know I keep saying that. Henry, what's up, Droops? How are you? Yes, delete was missing. Sorry, Jen. Yeah, I know. I'll get it together. I don't know. Technology is not my strong point, like at all. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I'm almost there. I'll get it eventually, right? Okay. StreamYard.com. Hold on. This one. Okay. I'm on my way to doing it. I want to show you guys something super funny in just a minute too. My mom thought she was helping me out today, but apparently she doesn't know my taste as well as I thought. Would help if I could see too, huh? Okay, let me see. Okay. I forgot a song on my channel. I wrote it and recorded when I was locked away in maximum security for my wife. For those, that like music. That's cool. Forever Right On. Salvador had Chileranos. That's my favorite. My complete favorite. Right On Forever. That's cool. Right music. Bomb, Salvador. Did you make them or buy them? I'm just curious. No judgment. Yes, I know, Droops. Your girl's got some troubles with it. You're thinking about DoorDash and Wingstop? That sounds bomb, Henry. Everything sounds good right now. I cooked for everyone, but I didn't have time to eat yet, so I've got some snacks here. I think the ladies might bring some snacks too. Thank you, Tashenka. You're so patient with me. I appreciate it. You guys all are. Thank you. What is that? Juice Loke, huh? Okay, Juice Loke. Salvador Chilerianos are my favorite. White cheese solamente. That's right. When you come one day, Debbie, I'm going to hook you up. You probably have some good ones there. Brenda Love or Brenda with the love now. I love that. Oh, hi, Jen and everyone in the chat. Hey, Brenda, how are you? I hope you're doing good, girl. I love your new picture, too, and your name, of course. Oh, you bought them. Okay, well, were they good? That's all that matters, right? Okay. Okay, did it send? Let me try it one more time. I always say town, but I don't know. It's like because I'm in the boonies, but when you live in Salinas, like there's always like the countryside and then there's like the city, you know what I mean? So I went into the city, I guess I could say that. And I did some shopping. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at the chat. 1 second. I had to return some things, exchange some things, and I feel like I was running all day. Okay, here we go. Again, this is all my fault, guys. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
You're looking beautiful as always.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Having some technical difficulties as always.
Okay, hang on a second. I need to put my volume up.
Okay. Let me move my stuff a little bit. There we go. Just waiting. Let me see. Hey, Joker, Henry, Drew.
Okay, hang on. I need to reposition myself.
Okay,
Give me 1 second.
I need to. I'm like, what did I do here?
Is your other guest is she running late?
Yeah, I just sent her the link. I don't know if the same thing, like if she's having issues. Let me try doing it this way as well.
Okay,
I
because
gotta
like
figure out.
yeah, it's gonna depend if she comes on, and then like I'm gonna have to move
Oh,
again.
okay. It
Yeah,
changes things. Okay.
yeah.
I don't know. I've got to figure out why my the little mouse on here is doing that. Here's her email.
Okay, good.
Okay. How was your day?
It was hectic, but it was really good. It was really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. That's good. Yeah, she just texted me right now. I know today did feel hectic for me too. I feel like I was running all day,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to get dinner done before we went on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to this. So here we go. Let me see. I think I'm going to take a class, like a computer class, because as you can tell, I'm having. It's hard for me to learn. I am not like a tech savvy person.
Yeah, it just takes some. Yeah. Um, just gotta, practice a little. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, just know the steps. I think once you do
yeah,
it once, and then, but then again, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does malfunction.
yeah. I do have a There's a spot near. Oh, here she is. I think actually. Okay, I think we're all good. Oh no, it's doing that on her thing. Why won't it let me click on her? You guys, what am I gonna do? Wait. Okay, hold on. Okay, all right. Can you hear me?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I was having some technical issues, difficulties as always. That's like my thing.
Could
It's
you
okay.
could you
Okay,
adjust my camera,
one
please?
second. Let me make sure we're all good.
Yeah, just you're gonna have to adjust it.
You're looking beautiful as always, Monica. It's good to see you again.
Do.
Just
This is Life Without
that way.
Parole. We're in the middle. This is Monica.
No, the other way. The other way.
Super excited to have this conversation. We're
Yeah,
just
that's good.
adjusting
That's good.
cameras real quick.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is your guys' first time meeting, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So basically, like I was thinking, this is a topic that would be great to have a conversation about. Although I personally am not a prison wife, I have had several people that are curious about it and have questions. What all goes into it, what you ladies may go through, what the community's like for you. So I was like, why not? Let's go on and just chop it up and have a conversation. So thank you, ladies, for being here.
No, thank
Um,
you for having me.
yeah, I
It's
appreciate
always a
it.
pleasure.
Always. Life Without Pearl, do you want to just start out with a little bit of?
No, Monica can.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Monica, you're a prison wife of how many years now?
12.
12 years. Okay, I knew it was somewhere around there, but I wasn't positive of how many. And you're in Washington State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Would you say that you have experienced like mostly positive support within the prison wife community, or have you? What is your opinion? You can be completely honest because there's no judgment here. We're just having an open conversation.
Honestly, from my experience, I didn't actually know about like prison wives groups and things like that until like probably 6 or 7 years into my bid.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I did, it's like at first I was like, oh, this is cool, like this is exciting. Um, because a lot of these women share my experience and this and that. But then the more like that I would post or the more that I would see like women, there's just a lot of like envy and like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like, and then a lot of them are just like, I call them inmate hoppers.
I've heard that term before. Yeah.
Yeah, so they like, oh, they'll talk to a guy in prison. They'll meet a guy in prison, and then it won't work out, and then they go to another guy in prison, and then
Mm-hmm.
they'll stay in the thing. Like it's like if it's like that's something to do, like that's a lifestyle for them
Like
or something.
maybe it's kind of a fetish for them or something.
something. I don't really know, but to me, it's like I wouldn't. I never want to do this bit, not even with him
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. You were with your husband before he went in, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I had thought. Yeah, I noticed that in a few of the groups, because a lot of the even the family support groups, I'm in a couple of them, and I noticed that, and obviously not every prison wife, but I noticed a couple comments and things that kind of took me by surprise. And I have a friend, I won't say his name, but he always said, like, whatever you do, like if you know someone, like encourage them not to get involved in the politics and the BS that can go along with it, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so um, I'll cut in for a minute. Personally, first I want to start off by saying that I am very blessed to be um, supported by so many prison wives,
Mhm.
and I can I can really just say that I know that there is a lot of controversy that follows, the prison wife community, but I am very blessed to know so many hardworking, loyal prison wives. I
Mhm.
feel like personally, um, prison wife like groups like on Facebook or anything like that. I
Mhm.
think that that's really not the place where you would find a woman that's like that's how would I put it, that's you just wouldn't find women like myself on there, um
Right.
and women like that support me that are prison wives. I find that they're never in those kind of groups because they tend to be very toxic. But yeah, like if I could give any advice, like avoid those groups at all costs. It's really mostly, for um, a group of individuals that like the notoriety and like like the attention that their husbands bring, to the
Got
table.
it.
So I personally like don't go into groups like that. Like I said, I'm very blessed. I have I could say a very, a decent
Mhm.
size, of women that support me.
Mhm.
That whenever, for example, like I did have a TikTok account, and a lot of them found me on there, and a lot of them since then have been really supporting me, and I see that I follow them back, and I
Mhm.
see that a lot of them are just they have careers, they're so hardworking, such loyal women, and unfortunately we are binded to this to that name, prison, like prison wife. Like it's like we're branded that, right? And unfortunately it's not really like something that you can say, oh, I'm proud to be a prison wife. Like it doesn't feel like that. I wish there was another name for I guess, us as a group. Like I wish it was a different name, because I feel that name has been like tainted, to
Mhm.
the point where there's absolutely no respect. People automatically jump to the conclusion that we're all very insecure and very sad individuals, and
Hmm.
that's really just far from the truth. A lot of us are very strong, hardworking women with careers and with families, and I feel like we're always overshadowed by that woman that is being unfaithful, by that woman that is, just using, their husband for clout, you know and
Yeah.
especially now with social media. I
Mhm.
find that people and not just women, like I find also like men that like to just really ride the tailcoats of these men that are incarcerated, and it's not just those women, it's like a lot of people that do that. They like being associated, they like that notoriety, they like being, like, oh, like, yeah, I know this person. And it just really, like I said, it really does taint us as women, as strong women.
Mhm.
Like, yes, it's not your normal relationship type of situation, but really now, especially in the days that we live in, like what's really normal anymore, you know, like nothing is. So
Yeah.
like I feel like and even like I've seen like a lot of women that are out here but are honest with their husbands, and you know they live their life according to their rules, you know, just like anybody out here does. That, you know,
Mhm.
their relationship is what they make it, so why can't they do it too,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, we're always looked at like, you know, we're second class citizens because they think that something that, you know, that something happened, and you know, like we have daddy issues, and that's the reason
Mhm.
why we, you know, pursue men in prison. And
Right.
that, you know, a lot of that hasn't happened with all of us. Like we don't pursue men in prison.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's some great points there for sure. Would Would you say, like, just following up on some of what you just said, have you noticed that certain individuals, male or female, try to attach themselves to maybe like a big name or something like that?
Absolutely. All the time. It
Okay.
happens all the time. And this is like it really just it's very like for me, for myself personally, it's very sad when I see that, when I see, you know, women literally just like I'll give you an example. What's his name? Chris Watts. His
Yeah.
case, right? Everybody is very familiar with his case. And here you have this woman writing to him. First of all, why would you even write to Chris Watts? You know,
Right.
like you like that already is, you know, a big red flag there as an
Mhm.
individual, you know. So, but the fact that you would write to someone like Chris Watts,
Mhm.
befriend him. Mind you, I'm in no way defending him or anything of the sort. He's just an example. So she's writing to him, you know, and back and forth. And what does she do as soon as they break up? She turns all of his letters into a book and that she's selling.
Oh my gosh. This really
So
happened? Like this is an actual
yes. So these are
wow.
the type of women that we're being compared to. A lot
Mhm.
of these women do this because, you know, eventually like their goal is to make money,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. And then you have this other type of women that they really just they're not capable of keeping a relationship out here, so they go where they think they're being like where they're desired, you know. And a lot of the times these women are made victims, like, oh, you know, this poor woman got taken advantage of. It's like, and that's besides the truth. It's actually quite the opposite. And the thing is that we live in the time now where it's like believe all women, right? A woman
Mhm.
can do no wrong,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. And so like that's not that that's far from the truth, you know. These men get used by the women out here, and it happens all the time. And the thing is that, and it's happened from from the beginning. A lot
Mhm.
of you you put the blame on the men because he's the one incarcerated.
Mhm.
He's the one incarcerated. So when a woman gets dumped by a man in prison, right away, like, oh yeah, he had somebody else, or he was just using her. How come they
Mhm.
never ask what the woman did to cause the relationship to end? It's always questioning the man. It's never like you can never question the woman.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I've noticed that even from the outside looking in. Monica, do you ever have people that question you as far as your relationship? Like, why are you still with him? Why are you waiting for him? Just being judgmental?
Oh yeah, all the time. It's honestly ridiculous. It's because it's like, okay, so what if it was your brother or your mom or your sister or your husband, or what if it was somebody in your family and they're quick to say, "Oh, I would never." It's really easy for you to say that when you don't love that person,
Mhm.
when it's not your loved one that's happening to. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe you might not love your husband that much,
Mhm.
but I do. And you can't, like, you're basically trying to belittle me because I'm loyal to somebody that I love.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it. I'm like, if your loyalty is not that strong towards your loved one,
Mhm. Yeah.
that has nothing to do with me. That's how you feel about your loved one. But as far as me, I'm loyal to my brother. I'm loyal to my husband. I'm loyal to my family. And if
Right.
you don't understand what that means, then that's you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Sorry, I wanted to address the higher power. Like, she has a she made a good point. It's serial killers that have groupies, and it's true. And it's
No,
like I understand. For example, my situation. I haven't told my husband's story. Maybe down the road, but like it's true what she says, because
mhm.
you really don't question females like myself. If you want to question someone, you like, why aren't you questioning females that are attracted to these serial killers?
Mhm.
You know, for example, Ted Bundy, like so many women were writing to him,
Yeah.
and it's just like in my mind, I'm like, it's to you on television he seems sexy and hot, and but you wouldn't be saying he's sexy and hot when he's, literally kidnapping you and taking your life.
Mhm.
And this is something, like those are the type of women that you should question. Those women have something wrong with them
Yeah.
mentally. It's not, because I'm sorry, like, if if that were the circumstances that, you know that my husband was under, that he was like, I wouldn't be with him. I'm sorry, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be with him, because there's no way I would ever be with someone that would willingly go out and kidnap women, take their lives, and act like as if nothing ever happened, and not just
Yeah.
do it one time, do it several times.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a higher power. She's right. Like, these serial killers have, and we could compare to these women.
Mhm. Yeah, I think who was it? Richard Ramirez, same situation. He had a woman that married him that was writing him. I forget how many letters. I watched something the other day, and basically just obsessed with. He had several women, but basically this one woman he eventually married. Um, she was all about it, and then she stayed with him for quite a while until she found out about one of his crimes that involved a child, and supposedly, allegedly, she ended it after that. But it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thank
like I
you,
said,
Lil. Thank you, Lil. God bless you. Yeah, that's that's unfortunate. I hate to think that you ladies have to deal with. You know what I mean? It's like you have to deal with judgment for one, being grouped into one certain category
and
when there's
the
so
thing is
many.
that, sorry, the thing is that a lot of women too, like, even like I said, like, I do have like such, a loyal, prison wife, community that does support me.
Yeah.
And it's how you put yourself out there as well, like that has a lot to do with it. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but like, if you're like flirting with men, and there's no way anybody's going to respect or think remotely that you're being faithful with your husband out here. There's no
Mhm.
reason for any female that has a husband incarcerated to be flirting with another man.
Mhm.
Publicly and private, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because the world looks at you, how you carry yourself. The world looks at that. You're a representation of your husband.
Mhm.
What they see you do, whether it's at work, whether it's on social media, whether it's at school, like in the privacy of your home, they're looking at you and they're judging you.
Yeah.
And what you put out to the world, that's what they're going to think of your husband as well. So if you're like, like on camera, cussing like a sailor, and just really like not very late, like, excuse me, not very ladylike,
Mhm.
guess what, like, yeah, they're gonna judge you. Mind you,
Mhm.
nobody has to always act like that, like I understand that, but the world is watching you, and the world does judge. So how you put yourself out there, it does matter, because they're judging your husband as well. And a lot of women just don't care, and it's something that nobody really likes to say or talk about, because then you get into another conversation. Oh, well, as a woman you shouldn't be judging another woman. And it's just like, no, as a woman, this is how I conduct myself. And if
Mhm.
another woman is conducting herself not accordingly, guess what, the world is not going to judge her based on my actions. The world is going to judge me based on her actions. So
Mhm.
it does matter.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you feel like people look to you, Monica, and maybe, I mean, following up on that, do you feel like you're a representation of your husband, basically? Like, do people?
I mean, the way that I view things is like, I mean, I don't do anything to cause like any negativity towards me or my husband. I don't I don't put myself out there to be available for anybody to even just approach me.
Mhm.
Especially in public. I'm not a very approachable person. Well, I don't feel like I don't ever get approached really, but I don't ever put myself out there so that people feel comfortable to approach me or to say anything to me. And then but when it comes to my husband, I mean, he's already judged because he's in prison. So I really don't care how people feel or what they think or anything like that. I'm just living my life the best way that I can and supporting him and supporting my family, you know? Because I mean, he's in prison, so anybody's gonna have any kind of, you know, any kind of just thought or approach to that situation, like unless they're living in my shoes and understand what I'm going through, they don't care, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
you feel like they pretty
even
much.
your own family, you know,
Yeah,
even your own family, because he's in prison, you know, my brother's in prison too, but oh no, you know, my brother's still better because that's our family, you know. So it's just like, to me, it's just, I mean, I'm there for him. I'm taking care of him. I'm taking care of home. That's all that matters. You know, I don't care what other people say or how other people feel about me or what other people think. I'm just doing the best that I can with the cards that I've been given, you
yeah.
know?
You're just doing you. Yeah. That's something I obviously, like I mentioned, I'm not in that, I'm not a prison wife, but I do have a sibling that's incarcerated, and I have had concerns for him, you know. Of course, like I would love for him to have companionship and things like that, but there's been a couple um, Looney Tunes in the past, you know, and it's given me reason for concern. And there's been some that are just still really solid, you know, pen pals. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I only know what he tells me, you know what I mean? So, um, but yeah, I think even for your sibling, like for me anyways, I can only speak for me. I would love for him to have someone that he could lean on, but you know, we'll see what happens. I also am cautious about it. Yeah. Doesn't matter what other people think, feel.
That's the same thing with my brother. Like, my brother has got planned to get married like 3 times now. Like, this is his third marriage now, you know?
Wow.
And the first two were just,
Hmm.
I don't know, I wasn't fond to them, and and like the second one I told him, I'm like, if you marry that girl, you can just forget about me because I'm not dealing with her.
Yeah.
Especially if she has your kid. I'm not dealing with that. Because over here you can have conjugals in Washington.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, if you marry her and you have a kid by her, I'm just done, you know? And so now he's with one of my best friends from our childhood.
Oh, well,
So
that
I'm just like,
probably works out, right? Like,
yeah, it's better.
yeah.
It's better.
I hooked my brother up with a friend once and it didn't end up so well, but that's good
Yeah.
that that one's working out for sure. Let's see. A shout out to the ladies on the panel. Thank you, Activate LA. Thank you guys for being here. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Do you, Life Without Pearl, do you have any, like when you say when you go to visit, when you've had visits, do you try to pretty much stick to yourself, or do you talk with other wives or girlfriends when you're there, or is that sort of like a no-no when you go to visit?
Um,
I've heard both, so I'm just curious how you feel.
well, I'm a friendly person.
Mhm.
I, definitely very, very approachable. Like I feel like you should be polite to everybody. But honestly, like, I usually when I go visit my husband, that's the only thing I go for. I really don't associate with anybody. I do my best to to just focus on that, because like traveling all the way to another country alone, it's just very stressful, and just very exhausting. And so people tend to exhaust me like quite quickly. So yeah, I don't really like I said, like I've made several friends, uh, going down to the States and visiting my husband. And I've had good experiences and bad experiences, but I think that's what comes with anything in life in general. It's like
Yeah.
like your work or school or anything like that. Even family. You have, it's a give and take.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I knew there would be some ladies in the past that would like ride up to visits together and stuff, and that's something that, for whatever reason, I never questioned him, but my brother always discouraged that. He's like, don't ever get caught up in a situation where you're like riding with people, or he's like, just stick to yourself. Like, don't get caught up in anything. I don't know why. I mean, I can imagine there's many reasons, but
Oh, I can tell you why, because I actually did that once, but it was my husband's friend's mom.
mhm.
And she was an older lady, and I was bringing her over there. I went to pick her up. And then she was like, "Oh, can we stop by the store so that I can get some drinks for the road? Because we have to drive like an hour away."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." So she grabbed some beers, and I was like, "Okay, like I'm just gonna, what am I gonna say? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna leave her alone."
Yeah.
Well, she was drunk by the time we got there, and
To
I
the
was like,
visit?
"You know what? I'm like, they're gonna smell it on you." I'm like, I have some mints and I have some
Oh
chapstick, like some
no.
fruity chapstick. You should put
Uh-huh.
some of this on and take some mints. And I sprayed her down with my spray, and I put some hairspray in her hair. I don't know. I was trying to do my best, because if they didn't let her in, she can't stay in the, she can't stay on the facility grounds. I'm not
Yeah.
going to let her take my car. So I
Right.
wasn't going to be able to go in. And it was an event. It was like a powwow event.
That's
So I
right.
was
You
like,
said that you guys
so
have a
I
lot
had
of
to do
people.
the best that I could to make sure that she got in. And I was so nervous. And then the sergeant even pulled her to the side, and he was like, "Ma'am, are you intoxicated? Is there something wrong with you?" And she was like, "No, I'm fine." And then he was like, "Is she intoxicating? Like, is there something wrong with her?" I'm like, well, she takes diabetes pills. I'm like, I know she was having a problem with it in the car, so she took her pills. So I think maybe that's why she's a little, woozy. I'm like, cause she has diabetes. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know. And he was like, oh, okay. And they let her in. Praise God. But I told my husband, I'm like, never again, bro.
Yeah, that could have really messed up your visit and even brought
I
like
would have been so mad at him. And
undue
then he told his
aggravation.
friend, he was like, we're never gonna do that again due to your mom's tripping.
Yeah.
And so after that, I never took her again. And then I seen another lady take her, and I'm like, that's not me.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would have I personally I would have had a major panic attack. Yeah. That's
Girl, I
right.
did my best to cover her up because she was a mess. I was like, oh, Jesus, what do I get myself into?
Mhm. Yeah, I bet.
Hmm.
Wow. How do you guys handle it? It happens, or if it happens ending a phone call or visit negatively. I understand it's usually a goal not to end it badly on both parts. Yeah, how does that? I imagine not every phone call is always happy. There's could be disagreements or, just regular everyday issues with your spouse. How do you handle that when it's just because when it's time to hang up, they just cut the call off?
Well, sorry. When I'm mad at him, I usually just don't answer my phone. Like, I
Mhm.
block him because I'm pissed off. And he
Mhm.
knows that. And then he knows that when I cool down, like in a couple hours, I'll unblock him again.
Mhm.
And then he'll be able to call me, and then I'll answer.
Mhm.
And then we'll talk about it. But if I'm mad and I'm like to the point where I want to cuss him out, I'll just hang up, and I'll block his call, because I don't want to argue. Like, there's no point of sitting there and arguing while I'm paying for the phone calls.
Yeah, so that's what works for you guys. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that doesn't well, my situation is different. I never do that. I always answer my husband's calls, always.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if we're fighting. You have to understand that communication is one of the things that keeps our relationships going. Communication. It doesn't like I could be having a rough day, or my husband can be, and like, and it's just a bad conversation or a bad video visit, but we always converse. We talk about it or we argue about it. It doesn't matter. We have to do it, because if we don't, those things stay, like, for us personally, like, we don't let that stay bottled up inside. You have to understand, we're not together, you know, in like physically, we're like, we can't be, and especially for us, I live in a completely different country where he's doing time. So I always answer his phone calls, and we always have to talk, and we have to talk it through. We have to work it out. Well, what happened in the situation, like we don't say who was in the wrong. We just say, okay, what can we fix? What needs to change so that we don't have this problem again, so it doesn't occur. Like, but for us, communication is key. So I like, whether it's on bad terms or good terms, we always have to keep that communication going, even if we have to continue on the next day and like talk about what the situation was.
Yeah, so communication works for you guys. That's great.
Yeah.
Cujo, I imagine stuff like that does happen. I've actually heard a story similar. So yeah, that's crazy. I heard someone that carpool. Yeah, that's wild. Okay, let's read a couple comments. Diabetic pills is yeah, that was a good cover up, Monica.
I was just like, it just came up like, she's old, diabetes.
Yeah, can't imagine. Yeah, you don't want to lose your visit or bring any. You could have brought your husband some trouble too. I imagine.
Yeah.
I don't consider that higher powered. I don't consider that babysitting. You have to understand, we're not, my relationship is not like everybody's relationship out here. My relationship is different. And getting into that relationship, I went in knowing that his life would become my life. And if that's not your mentality going into that relationship, you have no business being with a man in prison. His life becomes your life. You have to live your life around his, because he's the one that's limited on contact, on everything. So it's not babysitting the phone. It's when he calls, I answer, because that's what me as a that's the way that I show him that I'm there, that I love him, and that I'm in this relationship with him, that it's not just him.
Yeah, but you got to do what works for you guys, like each individual couple for sure. Yeah. Yes. Oh, we're just talking about spinal. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. We're just speaking about prison wives or prison relationships tonight, but we will be welcoming people in on the next live for sure. I just wanted to speak about some of these things. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them though, because I know that some of you probably do have some questions. Do you ladies ever have to deal with, or have you thought, I imagine you would. Okay, let me just put this out there. And each couple is different. I understand that. But I do have a friend who said, and I know she was probably being sarcastic, but in some way she was sort of trying to get a point across. She said that she had never been, how did she say it? Never been cheated on more than when she got with a man who was incarcerated. And I was like, what are you talking about? How is that even, my mind went to just the obvious. How is that even possible? But when I asked her to sort of clear that up or clarify what she meant, she was like, basically, what I mean is there's like a lot of girls trying to write to him or get to him. And basically, she felt like that was cheating. So.
Well, personally, I think well, that's the only, relationship that you have with him is over the phone and letters and, JPay or whatever. So it's like, yeah, it is. If you're talking to another girl, it basically is, because that's like a relationship. That's the only relationship that we have right now, But as far as that goes, the only time that really happens is if like that female knows him from like back in the day or something, or if you're giving out his information and then there's girls that don't like you or they're trying to get to you or something like that, and they're like reaching out to him, or he is on some kind of website.
Okay.
Other than that, that normally doesn't happen. Well, in my experience, I've never seen that really happen. Well, not to me, of course, but I don't know,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult is it?
Sorry, before I answer that question, wait, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look for her comment.
Okay. How difficult is it?
She said that her husband told her that she should carpool, and she said, if I shouldn't be going to visit you if I have to carpool, like I should be able to afford gas to go see you. So like I agree with her on that. Like I have that same mentality. Like I should be able to visit you and pay for my means on my own, like I understand that sometimes it's harder for other people, and sometimes we might come across times where things are hard, right? And I can understand why people do that, but no, I completely agree with her. Like, yeah, like I have that same mentality where like no, I should be able to fend for myself when it comes to our relationship.
Yeah.
And in regards to so
soon, Mike, I think
that's very controversial for a lot of women that have men incarcerated, because the majority of them feel like that, feel like the way Monica does. And I personally, I don't feel that way. For example, a lot of women that are with men incarcerated, when they get out, they're like, oh, he left me. And it's just like, and she might have not necessarily done anything to cause the breakup, except when he got out, he got to know her on a more personal level, right? So then he realized, this is not for me. I want something else. So they're allowed to do that. A lot of people look at it like, oh, that's, you were using. No, he found out, once he knew her, that it just wasn't for him. So to me, like I feel like if you deprive these men, and I'm saying men specifically, I'm not talking about the women. If you deprive the men from having like outside friends, whether it's male or female, remember, like if he loves you, after being friends or having other pen pals, you're giving him that opportunity to also see what's out there. And that's really a chance for you, for him to say, you know what, I talking to these other people, I just realized that there's just, like I rather spend time with you. I rather get to know you on a much deeper level. So a lot of the time they look at it in a negative way, but I don't. I see that if you can allow your husband to have pen pals, to have friends, mind you, that can be made very clear. I'm just looking for friends. You're not depriving them of what is something that's natural for us out here. So like, and guarantee you, all these women that have this problem have male friends out here. We all do. So why can't they have female friends?
Hi, Harvey.
And like I said, and it's just a chance to prove, like it's just a chance also, like it shows you where your relationship is at, like how trustworthy and loyal both of you guys can be.
Yeah, I think
so I don't have male friends. I don't talk to any male men unless it's my male men. No, I don't talk to any men unless it's my brother or family members that are men when I see them, but I don't have any male friends at all. When it comes to me and my husband, we're not okay with us talking to other people that are friends. Well, the opposite sex that are friends. We're not comfortable with that.
But
So
that works for you.
Yeah,
it works for you. Exactly, that works.
I'm not, but the thing is, like with me, I'm not gonna wait for somebody that's gonna be having conversations with someone else. Like when I can be free and find somebody to take care of me out here, and to be with me. You know, like I'm sacrificing. I'm the one that's doing that sacrifice because he's in there. I didn't put him in there. He put himself in there. So to me, I'm the one doing the sacrificing. So his sacrifice, he can sacrifice as well, which
Yeah.
is doing what
But
he's supposed to do as to be the person, you know, for me. If
yeah,
he
and that,
wants to, because of course that everybody has choices.
Yeah.
But just like I have a choice to wait and to be there for him and to dedicate 12 years to him, he has a choice as well. And if that's not his choice, is to just be exclusive to me, then he can choose that, and then I can choose my path as well.
yeah,
Because
and
if I had a choice, I would not want to wait. I would not want to be with somebody in prison. But because I love him and because he chooses me, I choose him with what comes with him. And that's the sentence that he received.
Yeah.
see,
You
but
see
that
what I'm
works for
saying?
you. Yes, and that works for you. That's understandable. That works for
Mhm.
you guys. But what people fail to realize though is that there is always someone better for him and for you. Always. There's always somebody better for each one of you. Just like there's always someone better for me, there's always someone better for my husband. It's who you choose, who you want to spend the rest of your life with. That's your choice. Because there's always somebody that's better that is just down the road, always. And that is for every single person. So it's up to us to decide who we want. So when I say, oh, like for example, me, I do have male friends. I made, like a very kind-hearted male friends that are happily married from YouTube, and I also have become very good friends with his friends that are incarcerated. So, and I have like I'm in the medical field. I am surrounded by doctors. I become good friends with them. Do you know what like so it just depends on what your environment and the rules that you set. Those are the rules you guys have set for your relationship, and that works for you, and that is absolutely fine. That is okay. You don't
Mhm.
have to live like the way that I feel or the way that I think or the way that I do. That's me, and the way that I think in regards to men having pen pals, and but it's the same thing for women. It's the same thing for women.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the same thing, like I was saying, how you put yourself out to the world, it does matter too. You see what I mean? Like it's the same concept. So he can't talk to women, like you say you're sacrificing for him. I personally I don't view that as a sacrifice. I like for me that I wouldn't choose that word because I'm not sacrificing anything, because I made that decision knowing what the situation was before I said yes, I'll be your girlfriend and yes, I'll marry you. So to me, like it's not a sacrifice, but like it goes the same thing for us. How we represent ourselves out here, you will call it like, oh, like it should be a sacrifice, right, on your end, just like how you're sacrificing for him, right?
Mhm.
So it would be the same thing. So how we represent ourselves to the world, like it matters, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's so cool is to hear both of your perspectives on it and what works for each of your individual,
Yeah, like I said, like I have so many prison wives that that message me like on a daily basis, and their life stories are just so different, and I think that's why that really did allow me to kind of have an open mind on people's relationships, because at the end of the day, whether you're incarcerated or not, it's your rules. You make your relationship how you see fit. And it's true, like it shouldn't matter what the world thinks about you. It shouldn't. But at the same time, we're like, I feel like there is a line though. There is a line because our men are incarcerated. Like if you're out here, like not really, being too late. Like I said, like I don't have a problem with women posting on Instagram or anything like that. If you feel sexy, by all means do it. You know, and but at the same time, yes, people are like, well, how come you're you're posting that if your man is incarcerated, you know? And
Mm.
what is your response?
Yeah.
I feel sexy. They're like, well, do you feel like it shouldn't that be like private for your husband to see only? You know? So it just goes deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. One of the comments further up, I think it was, let me see, Mr. Wilson's. I think we're speaking about long-term people with long-term sentences, basically. Both ladies are going with. Um, I imagine if it was someone that maybe had a short sentence, it would be. I'm just imagining from the outside looking. It would be a little different if somebody maybe just had a not that serving time isn't serving time, but the longer you wait, I'm sure the more intense it is. And yeah, just ask. Just there it is. Yeah. Let me scroll down. Well, that's a good question. Do you think your husbands would hold you down if the roles were reversed?
Yes.
I mean, I believe that he would hold me down, like he would be there for me, give me money and stuff like that. But I think he's a man and he would most likely be having sex with other women. That's my honest truth.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't do that. And the reason why is because my husband, I want him to come home and for me to be fresh, to be,
Yeah, you're waiting for
just
him.
only for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then my husband, he's going to be home soon. So.
That's right.
And I've been waiting 12 years.
Good for you. You don't have to say exactly when, but is it a matter of years or months or?
Oh, months.
Okay. All right. That's nice. Happy for you. That's good. All about perspective. Yes, yes, yes. I made friends. Would you, let's see, if you had a friend or a sister, someone that you cared about, that was maybe met someone and they were considering getting into a relationship with them, person, was incarcerated, what recommendation or advice could you give her?
I would tell her, hell no, you're
Yeah.
not going to be in a relationship with a guy in prison. Not because of like my situation, because I feel like I got lucky because my husband, he's a really good man, and he's very respectful and he's good to me. Like he's always been good to me. But in the sense that the men that I've seen, how they are, how they work, through my husband, through visits, through just listening how my husband speaks about them, or like even my brother, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would tell, no, my sister wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. Imagine it would be hard. I mean, like I said, I'm not in that situation, but
It's not for everybody. Like out of 100%,
mm-hmm.
out of 100%, you have 1% that are good women,
Mm-hmm.
and the 99% that are not very good human beings in general. So, and it's very sad to say that, because women are put on such a high pedestal, that you would think that we would be, much more, I guess, much more caring human beings, but it's not for everyone. And even if the person like was in love, truly in love, a lot of women have to I've seen a lot of women walk away from men that they really loved because they were honest. And I think that's all it really is, like being honest. They were like, I can't do it. Like, I love you, but I can't. Like, this is not like, I don't know how to be out here alone, So you have those women as well. So I would just say that, like, I would never encourage anybody to do something or to not do something. I would just say, this is how it is. This is my personal experience, and I'm just letting you know that his life, that's your life now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hear a lot of women saying constantly, "Oh, I'm doing the time with him." No, you're not. No, you're not. Like I said, 1% out of 100% of women are actually doing the time with their husbands.
Yeah, I've heard that phrase before several times. Let me see. Good evening, Hit Hard. It's good to see you. All right, sorry guys if I'm behind on the comments too. Just trying to say hello and then carry on the conversation as well. Spider. How does your, I'm curious, how does your mom feel, Monica, about your brother having a significant other, or I imagine she has some strong feelings about that as well.
My mom even told her, because like I said, she's been my childhood friend since I was a little girl. She told her that she's dumb for trying to be with my brother. I mean, my mom,
Oh wow.
that's how my mom feels. She's like, you're dumb because, he went in when he was 18. He's going to come home and he's going to try to live his life and, catch up. And you're going to be sitting there waiting for him to catch up, because that's exactly what he's going to do. Because he went in when he was so young.
Yeah.
And then they weren't together the whole time. She wasn't holding him down the whole time. She just barely got with him. And so, I mean, I told her the same thing. I'm like, my brother, he does his thing, and then him and his baby's mom, they still have like a kind of like a relationship. It's not like, like it used to be before he went in.
Right.
Like she does her thing or whatever, but they still, there's still that spark. So, and so my mom told her the truth. I told her as well, but, she still wants to be there. And I mean, that's fine with me too. I support it. But I mean, but I told her the truth, I'm like, I don't want you to be mad at me if he does something wrong. Like,
they're,
because I know him, I know how he is.
Yeah.
And he's very spoiled, he's spoiled by us. And so he doesn't comprehend how to really appreciate that time that she gives him, because he has everything. Than if he didn't have anything at all.
Yeah, I can see how that makes sense. You're honest with her. This is a good question. What do you women attribute to your loyalty? Is it your upbringing? Where did your devotion to your men come from? Yeah, upbringing, faith. Is it just
definitely absolutely? It has to do with the way you were brought up. It has to do with your life experiences in general, because some people can take a bad experience and take the good from it, but then you have those people that, go through those bad experiences and then just literally depend on those to really get through life with sympathy, so definitely the way I was brought up has a lot to do with my my loyalty to my husband, and also what I've been through, and not just that, he teaches me also every single day. I learned something from him, and one of the things that he has taught me is loyalty. I thought I was loyal before, but not when I met him. It's a different type of loyalty, just completely, just out of this world type of loyalty that I didn't even know existed.
That's amazing. Yeah. How about for yourself, Monica?
For me, when my brother was incarcerated, they both got charged together, and he's my little brother, so for me, it's like it started, we were in a relationship before, and then he was told, like, if he was going to tell on my brother, that he would be able to get out that day, but if he didn't say anything, then he would get an automatic 10 years because he had already done time. And so basically he didn't snitch on my brother. He didn't say anything against my brother. And not only that, but he was he basically was there for my brother, like it was his, like he's his little brother. And to me, that's what gave me the courage and the love that I would want to be loyal to him, that I want to be there for him, that I want to hold it down for him. And also, like, I want to hold it down for him. Like, I would want somebody to hold it down for my brother, you know, how I would want my brother's baby's mom to have been, you know. I want to be the person for him that I would want for my brother. And so, because I love my brother, I have loyalty to my brother, you know. And so with him and this whole situation, it's like I felt like I owe you this, you know, like I want to give you this, you know, this is my gift to you for being there for me and my family, for holding it down for me and my family, you know.
So it made your loyalty to him even stronger by
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. That would mean a lot. Yeah.
Someone just commented, Culture Cafe. He said, oh, I don't know if he's a he or she. How is it loyal if there's no highness in there for him to prove that he's legitimate? And this is exactly what I mean. There's ways to do it, but like it's like I said, it's not for everyone. You know, it's not for everyone. You know, like he could easily prove, you know, that, like I said, like depriving him of having female friends, you know, like that's just a way to prove it. But not everybody goes down that road.
Yeah.
I mean, there's they can get girls just as well as guys out here. Probably even like faster.
Oh yeah.
Because
absolutely.
there's women on pen pal websites and things like that are just, you know, they're looking for men daily, you know. So I mean, really, they can get any girl they want, as you know, as at the snap in their fingers, you know. I've posted guys for my brother, you know, as a favor him. They get hit up in minutes. In minutes, they get hit up.
Really?
You know, so if they really want to, they can really talk to whoever they want. They can get as many girls as they want. You know, it's just really up to the man. Like, if he wants to talk to somebody, I can't stop him.
Yeah. I've even heard of some, I mean, I can't imagine, I wouldn't want to put everybody's business out there, but it's some things have been made public about people within certain facilities as well, like public cases. So that's always a trip too, with staff members, you know.
Exactly. I like what Gina says, and that's exactly how I feel too. I don't feel like, you know, like I'm doing, like I said, I know women say, oh, I'm doing time with him. No, we're living our lives. My husband is never coming home. We're living our lives, you know. I'm not. He's stuck. And like I don't like using that word sacrificing, because it feels like it's you know, like someone should give me a medal for it. No, it's not that. Like, we both put work into our relationship, you know. And your life shouldn't stop. Like, my life hasn't stopped, and neither has his, and that's how it's supposed to be. So I completely agree with what Gina said, and it's accurate for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is something that you're gonna have to like go through for the rest of your life, because he has life, right?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't stay with him if he had life. I would be there for him as a friend. I would support him as much as I could, but I would move on with my life, and I would have another man or whatever, you know. Even if I loved him, I would
being honest,
help
right?
him.
You're being honest,
but I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I wouldn't stay.
So, but that's you. You're being honest. That's how you see. You have a limit, right? You're like, I wouldn't do that, and that's absolutely fine, and that's absolutely okay. Like, I don't expect women to think like me or to do the things that I do, or, you know, because you guys have the right to choose for yourselves.
No, but that's why I say,
as long
like,
as you guys are honest about it, and you guys like verbally, you know, tell them like, hey, you know, like, this is not going to work for me, then it's okay. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I say it's a sacrifice for me, because it is a sacrifice for me. It is, because I could have my own life out here. Exactly. I could have a totally different life than being with a man in prison.
See, it's understandable. I understand it. When you say it, I understand it. I know where you're coming from. you know. But just but I can say that very same thing. My life hasn't stopped out here. I have a career, you know. I have a family. We have a family, you know. And yeah, I'm gonna be out here for the rest of my life by myself. But I rather, like I said, like it's who we choose, you know. And I chose him, and he chose me. And it's not your typical, you know, like every prison wife has a different situation, you know. And the way that I respect, like another, and I hate using that word prison wife, you know, I don't like it, but and that's why, like, I can respect another prison wife because she's honest about, you know, how she feels and what their situation is. What I don't respect is when it's nothing, when I see a lot of manipulation and lies behind it, you know. So like I understand what you're saying, and it is true. Like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you that you know your limit, and that you're not willing to put yourself out, because, and that's what I mean. Like, you should never, a woman should never feel like, oh, like it's a drag. Because if it feels like it's a drag, then you need to walk away. But you need to be honest about it, because why are you making yourself unhappy? Don't depend on anybody to make you happy. That is your responsibility. You need to make yourself happy. Don't depend on a man to make you happy. And I feel like that's how it is with you. And so good for you for that. Because there's not very many women that are willing to even admit that, let alone say it out loud. Like, yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with women out here. You know, women, they rely on men to make them happy.
Exactly. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but it's just like, I mean, even having kids at a young age, you know, when you have kids at a young age, you could easily just give them to your mom or anybody, but no, you make that sacrifice to take care of them, you know, even not at a young age, at any age, you know.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to do to make sure that your loved one is okay. And so that's why I call it that, you know.
Yeah, like I said, like whatever words you choose, that's like, it's okay, because that's what you're saying. Like, this is how it is for me, and that's it. Nobody needs to accept what you're saying or understand it. As long as you're okay with it, and you go to bed at night and you sleep like a baby, that's all that matters. You know, you and I don't, we don't have to have or live by the same rules. We don't. And this is what I mean, how society puts a stamp on it, like this is how it's supposed to be, and then that's it, right? So then all of us look bad because we all live very different lifestyles. And that's what I'm like, and that's what I say, like, okay, well, whatever your situation is, if you're good with it, then I'm good with it. You know what I mean? As long as you're being honest, you're not using him, you're not, you know. Because yes, I know that it's the other way around sometimes too, like I know that. But like, the topic is prison wives, right? So like, yeah, and we're talking about women like yourself, and women like me, you know, and we have very different situations. So good for you that, you know, that you're able to be like, well,
I think it's good to say that. Like, everybody has their limits. Everyone needs to know what they're okay with. Yeah, for sure. That, I like this question too. Prior to being in your relationships now or situation, did either of you know someone in a similar situation?
Like, it's really cold. Sorry.
Did you draw strength from their experience or the experience of others? Did you? Anyone?
No, I never. No.
So it was new to both of you.
I didn't know anybody that was in a relationship with anybody in prison. Like I went through, you know, this journey like by myself. I learned along the way and made mistakes, and you know, but yeah, I this is something that, you know, that I made a decision on my own, and that
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody either. I mean, I had family members that were incarcerated, but I never like talked to them. I was too young and I didn't really care.
Yeah, I've heard, let's see. I mean, there's some controversial, you know, everybody feels differently, but like, okay, it's ridiculous to think you can be with someone in prison. Everybody falls to temptation. I mean, how do you guys feel about that statement? I mean, I think it's different for everyone. I don't think maybe that's necessarily true for everybody, but everyone's entitled to their opinion.
That's exactly what I mean. that's what we're branded as. Like, there's no way you're being like, do you know how many times I have that comment in like under my under the videos that I post whenever I post like with my husband? I get that constantly. There is no way you're out here being faithful to your husband.
Oh, really? Wow.
Constantly. That's a constant thing. And it's
So
just
a
like,
woman that has a man in the military that goes out, she can't be faithful either.
but that's what I'm saying. Like
Like
that's
that's stupid.
that's the problem though, because you have so many women cheating, so we all get branded under the same name. So many women cheat. Like I said, out of 100% of the prison wife, 1% are good, and the 99% are unfortunately not very good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a question. You ladies could, I don't know, since it does sound some kind of way, and I've heard you mention it a couple times. If you could, like, I mean, prison wife sounds, yeah, it sounds, I don't know, judgmental in a way, or I can't exactly think of the word, but yeah, it has a certain negativity to it when people use it in that term. What would you, is there a word or is there a way you would refer to yourselves that maybe sounds more respectful or more acceptable in your eyes?
No, like there shouldn't be a name for it, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have even come across certain prison wife channels, which, by the way, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of any of them. I've come across some channels where they even have names, like if you met your husband while he was incarcerated, there's a certain name for you. If you met him before he was incarcerated, there's another name. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous to me. It's just like, why are you putting a name to it? Like, why are you like literally like bring like putting light on what we want to keep private? Like, if we want to tell the world, we're gonna tell the world. But why do people feel like it's really necessary to put a name to it? There shouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Just your husband, right?
Yeah, that's my husband.
Exactly.
And his name is his name. Or I've also seen how women, they tattoo his inmate number on them.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I would never do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, most definitely. If you guys have any questions, try and go ahead and get them in. We'll probably be on about 10 more minutes. We've already been on almost an hour and 20 minutes. You guys feel, you ladies feel, sorry, I don't know why I always say you guys, is the most important thing to keep your relationship intact? Is it the letters, the phone calls, a combination of both? I mean, I can only imagine. I know visits haven't been flowing like they were before the whole pandemic. So I can imagine it's been especially hard for both of you.
Yeah, definitely. Like snail mail, messaging, phone calls. Mind you, like, I know that I'm not sure for Monica, but I didn't have any of those things before, and she's been with her husband longer, so I'm assuming it was like that for her as well. We didn't have messaging before, video visits. We didn't have any of that. That's a huge blessing for us now,
Yeah.
especially through this whole the zombie flu. Definitely, it's helped a lot, because otherwise, like, for example, I remember whenever my husband and I would get in an argument, we would do it through letters. So basically, one argument will last 3 months. So
Oh my
like I
goodness.
would send my letter, he would, like, I would wait 2-3 weeks for his, and then he'd wait another 2-3 weeks for my response. So
Mhm.
definitely, yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually improved my penmanship
Right, Trina.
because I wrote letters for 8 years, and I would write every single day. Every day I would write letters, and at the end of the week, I would send them all.
Okay, so you'd send them all at once?
Yeah, so sometimes, like, it depends. Like, sometimes if I would, every day I would write, but every day it would be either 1 to 3 letters.
Yeah.
So if I would write 3 letters, then every 2-3 days, then I would send them off. But if I would write only one, then every 4 or 5 days I would send them off.
You know what that reminds me of is out here, like when you get upset with your spouse or boyfriend or whatever, when you just blurt out those text messages, it's like you probably got them all at once.
There was letters that I would rip up, I would write, and then I would rip up and rewrite it.
Yeah.
I swear I got carpal tunnel or something. I got arthritis.
Right.
And not only that, but I was writing my brother too.
Mm-hmm.
So I would write letters to my husband and my brother because I didn't want him to feel left out.
Yeah.
You know, so even though I didn't have much to say to my brother because, you know, but I would just tell him how I'm feeling. And yeah, I just feel like keeping the relationship is just like always just loving them, choosing to love them, always just love them. And then if there's no form of communication, do whatever it is you can to communicate with them. Like, go ahead.
Sorry, like as someone commented, honestly, as men, we don't expect the women to wait, especially if you have football numbers. We expect her to ultimately cheat or move on. That's the truth. And see, so like, and this is the thing, we're naturally nurturers, right? We're loving, like that's just in us, to be loving and to care and take care of, you know. So this is the problem that a lot of us women do, and I said us because, you know, like including myself. This is why women cheat, because naturally we need to be hugged and loved and you know, and just, you know, taken care of.
Yeah,
it's just natural for us, you know. So that's why a lot, like, prison relationships are not for everyone, you know, because like that's just human nature. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but like I said, as always, just be honest with that guy that you're talking to or that you're dating in prison, or whatever your situation may be. Because if you're not, that's when, like I said, that's when the bad name starts to, you know, be stamped on everybody else because of what you did.
Yeah. You definitely have to have a hard core. You can't be sensitive. You can't be soft. You can't allow any kind of men that's interested in you or anything like that near you, because that's where temptation falls.
Correct. Exactly.
I don't go near nobody.
You're not gonna put yourself in situations like that. Like, and like, and I understand what you mean. Like, for example, me, I don't go out, I don't drink, I don't party. From work to school to home and to my husband, and that's it. That's my life, and I'm happy with my life. You know, if he one day were to come home, even better, you know, then, you know, he can definitely be a part of all of that, what I do out here. But I don't put myself in situations because it's very easy, you know. A lot of women, you know, they like to drink and they like to party, but guess what? When you're drunk, you become very vulnerable. You know, it's not, you know, you can take it how you want to take it, but it's true. Women become very easy.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
How do you there's another good one from the Martin. How do you ladies cope with extended time between visits and phone calls? Do you lean on friends, family? You have your own hobbies? I mean, you both seem to have your own careers and life going on, so I imagine.
I think that's what it is. Or like I don't know how, you know, what Monica's occupation is, but that's what my life is out here. It's my job and my family, and then that's it. That's enough to keep me busy all day. And plus, you know, like tending to my husband, that's a full-time job. You know, my life in general is a full-time job. I don't have time to sit and be like, oh, you know, like
that's
like,
true.
You know, like bills need to be paid, and, you know, I need to put food on the table.
How about for yourself, Monica? You stay pretty busy with work and kids, I imagine, right?
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, I'm a financial coordinator at an orthodontist clinic, so my job definitely takes a toll on me. Sometimes I'm even getting phone calls at home for my job. I do make time for my kids. I make time for my husband. My husband, I always talk. He has times where he has to call me after work. Sometimes I'm even at work and I'm talking to him sometimes, you know, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I love you. You know, but definitely it's mostly my kids, my mom, my sister, my nieces, and but I do go out. I enjoy myself from time to time. But I go out with my sister. I go out with my mom. You know, I go out with people that I trust. You know, people that I can like I can go to my mom's house and get drunk and I know I'll be safe there.
Yeah.
You know, I can go to my sister's house and drink and I'll be safe there. You know, I'm not surrounded around a whole bunch of people that I don't know.
See,
I
like
just
when you put it in those terms, the situation becomes very different, doesn't it? Because
Yes.
you're at home with your family, with your sisters, and you can, go all out, but you're safe, right?
Yeah.
You're not putting yourself in a situation where, in general, it's dangerous. Like, you should always have someone with you, right? If you go out, but like
Yeah.
you're not putting yourself in a vulnerable situation where
No.
that there is a chance that you could cheat, not because you wanted to, but guess what? You're not even conscious of what you're doing.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely. See, like right there, like I completely agree, and I think that's very smart of you.
Yeah.
Now
Like
you have a I don't want a background in criminal justice as well, right, Monica?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I was like, I'm not tripping, right? I remember we had talked about that. Okay, I just wanted to make
Yes, I do. I went to school for criminal justice, so I have my BA and I have my BA in psychology, and then I have an AA in language arts.
Okay,
So I went to school for that to help my brother, because I remember telling you about my brother getting 75 years, and then I went to school to get his sentence overturned. And so, and then that did go through, and now he has a law named after him here in Washington State. So,
Amen. Yeah, good. That's awesome. No, say what you want, San Juan Queen. I don't know how you got put in timeout, but I did not put you in timeout. I'm not sure what you wanted to ask, but shoot it. Good evening, Vince. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I sent you, I put my email in the comment section the other day, so I hope you got that, Vince.
but just recently, I got suspended. They tried to suspend my visits with my husband for 160 days.
Oh, wow.
This happened 2 weeks ago. They sent my husband a thing saying that our visits were suspended because I showed him my phone during our video visits.
Okay.
And so I ended up writing the superintendent. I wrote headquarters. I wrote another superintendent in headquarters. I wrote so many people. I was not playing. And then yesterday, one of the people that do the suspensions, they told me that they lifted my suspension for in-person visits, but my video visitation will still be suspended. But I can go see my husband this weekend. So I'm really excited.
I'm happy that worked out.
Girl, I was so mad. I was not playing. I was looking for laws and everything. I was up at 3:00 in the morning looking through policies and everything, because I'm like, really, 160 days?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. They act like I just brought some contraband or something, you know?
I saw a lady post something the other day. She said something about she was fully clothed, but I guess something she was wearing during one of her video visits. The visit got cut off, and I guess they told her husband afterwards that what she was wearing was too revealing. I'm not familiar with how these visits go, so
Basically you have to be wearing like as if you were at the facility. The facility setting. You have to be wearing the type of clothing that you would wear if you were at the at the facility. And that's fine, you know? But as for like my perspective, I wasn't wearing anything revealing. I was normal. And I know they did that because remember how I told you that we did a what is it called? That we were doing what is that called? A protest?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we were outside the prison doing a protest. And I feel like that's because they never shut off my visits. They never sent me a warning. They never said anything. I honestly didn't even know we weren't allowed to show electronics. And I was only showing him a picture of a baby. So like, I would understand if I was showing him a picture of my hoo-ha, but like, it was a baby.
Yeah.
And it was his grand nephew. Like, this man has a grand nephew. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Oh,
And I'm like, no, you guys, no, you're not going to do that to me. And so thank God I was able to get it lifted. I was so happy. And the lady even emailed me and she was like, I'm not doing this for all people, but we're going to try it out with you. So just make sure you follow all the guidelines and all the rules when you come to visit.
okay.
I'm like, you got it.
Most definitely. San Joaquin, I want to make sure and answer. Your man went to prison. I was not ignoring you. Your man went to prison. Do you think he made that choice with you in mind?
Is that towards me?
I think it's just in general.
So my husband went to prison because of a situation my brother was in. And because he was associated with my brother, with which my brother was gang related, and my husband was with me, that's why my husband ended up going to prison. It wasn't because of something that he did intentionally, or that he went to do something, or he plotted on doing something, or he did it out of anger or anything like that. It was simply because he was associating with a person that was gang related, and that was my brother.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just something that happened to take place. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I need a girl too.
Yeah. It's all you know,
That's good for you.
yeah. Everybody's, like we were saying, everybody, whatever works for you. You know what I mean? I think that's the phrase of the night. Whatever works for you, that's what's best,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jen, yes, I got it. Okay. All right, Vince, I'm glad you put that. All right, Vince,
You're going too fast for me.
I know. I'm trying to catch up. I apologize, everyone in the chat too. Like, I know I'm a bit behind. Okay. We're about to wrap things up. So if you guys have a question, shoot it. Oh my gosh, don't even mention that case. You're going to marry Jody Arias. You're going to be sorry, JoJo. Oh man. But I appreciate you ladies sharing your different, perspectives, your different feelings and your relationships and how they work. I feel like that's really beneficial to other people to sort of get a view into, the differences and what makes things work for you. And, not every relationship is the same. And you just have to know, like, you were both saying, what works for you, works for you. Hey, man, what's up?
What was your name again?
Me?
What was your name again?
Life Without Parole.
Life Without Parole. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you have like a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. And the background, is that like a curtain?
It's a backdrop, yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
It's funny, JoJo. Well, I appreciate everybody tapping in. I appreciate you ladies sharing your life, your time, and we'll wrap it up from there. Until next time, you guys all have a blessed and beautiful night. I send you both a ton of love, and everyone in the chat a ton of love. We appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.
It was nice meeting you, Monica.
Nice meeting you too.
Once again for having me on your channel. To everybody that watched, thank you so much.
Thank you. Life Without Parole, Monica. Have a blessed night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.